Hello everyone. Good morning, good evening. Welcome to the session. We will wait for 1 more minute. Let our friends join and we'll start. Okay, just wait for 1 more minute. That's it. Okay, first of all, welcome everyone. Thanks for joining the session. And for some of you, it is very early in the mornings. For some of you, it is evening. So, for everyone, warm welcome to the session. Let me quickly introduce myself. I am Vijay Sharma. I have 10 plus years of experience in designing, architecting, and managing complex distributed systems using GCP, Azure, AWS, and whatnot. So I'm a GCP certified cloud architect and I'm Azure certified as well. So I have worked with multiple cloud platforms in setting up in multiple MNCs, landing zones to production grade clusters and production grade environments as well. So I'm currently based out of Hyderabad and I work for a top five MNCs in India. Okay. So without much further ado, let's go into our session. So I see, hi Abhilash, hi Chitashri Jadhav, hi Divya, hi Harvey, hi Kushal, hi Machindra, hi Sachin, Sudhakar, hi Tosif. So, first of all, let's break the ice. I want you to do me a favor. What do you want? What I want you to do is put it in a chart like, why did you join this session? What are you expecting from this course or from this session? Okay. Can you quickly, in 1, 2 lines, can you introduce yourself like, okay, who are you? And where are you from? And what do you do? What is current role? If you are a fresher, you can put it as a fresher. If you are working as a testing engineer, you can put it as you are a DevOps engineer, put it that. So I just want to know who my friends are and who I'm going to share this month-long journey is going to be. Okay. So can you do that? Okay. If anybody has any queries, we will take that and we will unmute you and we will take queries at the end of the session. Okay. So, but for now, I want you to put in the chat. Okay. Thank you, Sachin. Good morning. So come on, guys, put it in the chat. Who are you? Like, for example, if I am Vijay, I'll put it like this. My name is Vijay or Vijay. I'm from Hyderabad and I'm a cloud architect. Okay. And my intention is to learn Docker and Kubernetes, or my intention is to master Kubernetes. Maybe my intention is to learn advanced Kubernetes architecture. Okay. Whatever your expectation is, I want you to put it in the chat. What you want from this course. Okay, the more you explain, the more I understand. Okay, these are the expectations, so I will modulate the course and modulate the tone of our course accordingly. Okay, so let's go ahead and who else who has put it in? Okay, Tausif. Hi, Tausif. You are a software tester. Fantastic. You're from Pune. Welcome. And you want to crack DevOps into and want to work seamlessly. Fantastic, Tausif. All the best. And this course is going to definitely help you to crack DevOps and cloud related and Kubernetes related roles. Okay, definitely. And who else, guys? Come on, come on. I see a few new names. Amit is there, Bharat is there, Damini is there, Harsha, Kushal. Come on, guys, please put it in the chat. Who are you? Where are you from? And what is your goal? Okay. So let me take some more. Kushal. Machindra says, okay, sorry, Machindra is there. Machindra says he's a cloud support engineer with 8 years of experience. Fantastic. And he has joined to learn advanced Kubernetes topics and troubleshooting cases. Definitely, we will be learning deep dive into Kubernetes and advanced Kubernetes troubleshooting cases as well. And we will be having a real-time project, and I will be describing what you will get from this course as well as we go ahead. And Kushal says Kushal is a cloud engineer and he is from Jaipur. Thank you and welcome, Kushal, to the course. Chetashri says she is a application support engineer with 5 years experience. And Chetashri, like I am not sure like male or female, so kindly forgive me if I say she or he. Okay, then she want to learn Kubernetes. Okay, fantastic. Who else, guys? See, let's have a deal. Okay, you know what, there is a universe out there and many people believe that whatever they want to achieve, sometimes they achieve that. Okay, if you put your intentions out there, maybe who knows, they all become real. Okay, like for example, Tausif says he want to crack interviews, definitely he will crack interview. Okay, so come on guys, come on, be interactive. Okay, don't be keep it for yourself. Okay, the more you interact with me, the more you learn, the faster you crack or you realize your goals. Okay. Okay, hi Upender, hi Upender. Thank you so much. Harsha says, okay, hi Harsha. He's from Bangalore and he's working as a DevOps engineer in TCS. Congratulations. I want to deep dive into advanced Docker and Kubernetes topic. Definitely, Harsha. This course will definitely help you. Divya says she's a full stack engineer and looking to gain more knowledge of Kubernetes, Docker, and learn how deployments work. Definitely, you will be learning all the things which you are aspiring for. Okay. Damini says, hi, good morning, Damini. You are from Pune. Okay, great. You want to crack interview and work as a DevOps engineer. So yes, you all the best to you, and definitely you will crack your DevOps engineer, and you can work it using the knowledge you will be learning from the course. Okay, we will be taking rest of the introductions and rest of the things as we go ahead. Okay, so since I have introduced myself, so rest of the 1 month I am going to be your trainer. Okay, one thing, guys. Okay, I have been through the industry since 10 plus years, almost 12 years. Okay, and from the moment when Kubernetes was not available, and then when Kubernetes became open source, and now when you are going through, advanced managed Kubernetes, I've seen through it all. Okay, and starting from Docker and other things, and I have worked with different technologies. So in this course, what we are going to learn is not just Docker and Kubernetes, but much more than that. The essence of what I have learned in my decade plus career, the tips, the tricks, what works, what doesn't work. If you are a fresher, how should you pitch in? If you are an experienced professional, how do you even I am going to give you resume related tips and also sample resumes as well. So without that and all, let's start what this course is about and what are you going to learn. As you know, the title goes with as learn Docker and Kubernetes. Okay, but why should you learn Docker and Kubernetes? Okay, why? Can someone put it in the chat? Is there anyone absolutely don't know what Docker and Kubernetes is, or they sometimes confuse between Docker and Kubernetes? They use the words interchangeably. Is there someone? If yes, just put it in the chat. I am absolutely no wise, or you can just put no idea. Okay, if you are absolutely new, put it in the chat. No idea, so that I'll at least touch upon as I go ahead in the course. Okay, so for those who already have very basic understanding, or at least have worked with Docker and Kubernetes, these tools are automation tools and they increase the way applications are deployed into environments. Okay. As I go ahead with the course, I will be teaching you certain jargon. You must learn those jargon and use it in your interviews or use it in your written communication, the way you speak. The way you speak tells you how professional you are. Okay. So when I say Docker and Kubernetes, these tools are, one is a packaging tool for your application, and one is a lifecycle management tool when you deploy an application into one environment. Okay, so let me give you a brief introduction into Docker and Kubernetes. Is it okay, guys? Is it okay? I know some of you are experienced with Docker and Kubernetes. Bear with few minutes for your fellow friends. Okay, let me open a paint and let me tell you a small story for you. Okay, let me tell you a small story for you. In a company called, let's say, Amazon.com. Okay, in a company called Amazon.com, there are several developers out there. Somebody who is a full stack developer, right? Somebody said like that, there are several developers out there. Okay, what do developers do? The role of developers is to develop the software responsible uh, for running certain functionality. Okay, basically, what does software do? Software does certain tasks and gives value or adds value to the customer. So these developers write code, and that code is essentially part of the software. So when developers write code, right, where do they write code? In their own local systems, and we call it as IDE, integrated development environment. Some people use Visual Studio Code, Visual Studio Interface. Some people use Eclipse, whatnot. Whatever the development tool you use. Even if you use text editor, they write the code. And what do? They push the code into something called code repository or source code management repositories. Okay. We call it SCM. One of the popular SCM is GitHub, cloud-based report. Okay. Don't we are not going to technicalities like what is Git, what is GitHub, what is Bitbucket. No, we are not going to deep in further sessions. If anybody has any doubts, we will be clarifying them at depth. But first understand that if you have code, developers has written their code and they want to keep it at one place, because all of them will be working on one particular aspect of the software, right? But software is a bunch of all those code. So you need to keep all the code at one place. That is called source code management repository. For example, GitHub, Bitbucket, okay, whatnot, GitLab, or whatever it is. Okay. So, for example, you have the code at GitHub. Okay. Earlier, what used to happen? Long ago, so long ago, when I was a very young guy, okay, what used to happen? You take this code, you do the testing and all. Okay, lot of testings are available. You call it unit, integration, regression, and so many types of testings are there. Acceptance testings. There are so many testings are there at different levels of progression. But for now, after testing the code, what they will be using, they will be deploying it to the server where application will or the software will run. Okay, when it is run, the end users will access this application from outside. For example, when you access Gmail, how are you doing it? You go to browser, you enter gmail.com, login.gmail.com, and you log in with your credentials. Am I right? So when your software is hosted in a production server and some issue is there, what do? Okay, now your lead will tell you, hey Divya or hey Tausif, some issue is there. You need to fix this because it is in production. So what do? You again take this up and you again put it in testing mode, and then it follows through the regular process. Usually in real world, we will be doing something called hotfix and hotfix environment. But for now, understand that if there is something issue in the real time, you need to again fix it. Then some again after some time, what happens? Let's say a new technology of hardware came. Okay, so with that, let's say the requirement of this particular servers where the applications are deployed can be the efficiency can be increased. What will the company do? Do you think that the company is going to quickly change the servers, bring the new one setup? No, that's not the usual way. In order to fetch a server, I mean to buy a server, host a server, and make it workable, it takes immense efforts. Okay, so uh, around approximately 10 years back, 15 years back, cloud concept came into picture. Okay, everything is cloud because companies want to reduce their capex. Capex means capital expenditure. What is capital expenditure? Something physical, tangible, like infrastructure setup, something on building, something like that. For example, here buying a server is a capital expenditure, which is very costly. But what if you follow the Uber model? You don't need to buy a car just to go from point A to point B. What you can do, you can hire a taxi and you can go, right? And that's it. You don't need to buy a car for that. Similarly, you don't need to buy a server if you know that your requirement is going to be to certain extent and you don't have optimized the servers available in the market and you want to change and scale up as per the demand. Then what is the best way to take the infrastructure on rent, like pay as you go model. Okay, that's called cloud. Okay, so when cloud came, many things got revolutionized. Okay, the way you deal with server, the way you send your code to the source code. Earlier there used to be local things, and then there used to be called something called SVN, and then when cloud came, everything moved to cloud. Then Git, using the Git technologies, GitHub has evolved. Okay, now as this happened, what happened? All the companies became much faster. Then there is a term called time to market. That means how much fast you can deliver your product to the clients or to the end user. That became the primary productivity benchmark. For that to happen, you need to build so fast that you can outsmart your competitor. For that, there is also new technology in the way the software is built came up. That's called Agile. Okay. The Agile model tells you that you don't need to build entire software once, test it one go, and build it and deliver it one go. Okay. That says that don't do that. You split the work, you work in smaller teams, and set up in a phased manner that you do small part of the work and send it to testing, and while the testers test the small part of the code, you develop the next part of the code. Okay, like that. This is called agile methodology, and you will hear smart agile, lean agile, and so many jargon is there. But understand that this methodology of faster development and faster testing and faster deployment has taken its course. Now at the same time, one more revolution silently was happening. What is that? People are fed up with large code bases. If you want to consider, for example, all of you know Amazon, right? You go and shop in Amazon. Netflix, right? You go and watch movies and web series, whatnot in Netflix. If you think that if Netflix is just a software, how much the software code base size would be? The size would be enormous. It would be more than 1 TB. But if you have such gigantic software, how do you test it? If something goes wrong, how do you figure out where the issue is? Is it so easy to fix the issues? No. So this kind of single code base mechanism of saving the code is called monolithic way of software development or monolithic software. Monolithic means entire code base as a single file or single entity. People are fed up with that. Developers need much more agile way. So what came later is breaking this large monolithic into something called miniature size, manageable, loosely coupled parts of software. That is called microservices. Now, the bigger service, the large service, was split into smaller service called microservices. Okay. What are these microservices? The microservices are nothing but smaller components based on the individual functionalities of a bigger software. How do you understand it? For example, take Netflix example. What is Netflix core service? It provides entertainment. What kinds of entertainments are there? There are movies, there are web series, there are documentaries, and these things are from different languages. They are from English, they are from many Indian languages, they are from European languages, like that, right? Now, what if instead of having the whole Netflix together, what if you split, you know, Indian movies, okay, link with that, the database and the services related to that into one microservice? And what if subscription and the payment related one are split into one thing? Okay, let's say call it subscription service. And when you take a subscription, you will have a password, login, and everything. Login related service. And then you have something called wish list or watch list. Okay, that is called recommendation system. Okay, like that. If you split the whole service, into multiple smaller entities. We call them microservices. Now, how many revolutions were happening? One, you had Agile, you have hardware and revolution in cloud, revolution in the technology, how software will be developed. All these things at the end led to rapid development of software. But although there are so much, our traditional methodology of deployment, the traditional pipeline was not ready to grasp this or take this up because there were certain challenges. What kind of challenges, you may ask? Vijay, like there is fantastic. This is fantastic. What kind of challenges you are facing? Challenge number one: when developers developed their code on their laptop or on their desktop, and they when push it to, let's say a development server, it used to break, and then blame game starts. The operations team who takes care of deploying and managing the server and hosting the servers, they used to say the software broke because you didn't write good code. And developers used to say, no, we wrote our code to the best standards and it worked in our systems and it didn't work in your system. That means the issue is with your servers. Okay, the blame game used to happen because the environment where it was built is different from the environment where it was deployed. Okay, difference in environments. Then what happens whenever you, even though you manage to you make sure that your application is deployed and developed in similar environments, what about the end user? End user can be mobile, end user can be web application, end user can be using something else like website. Okay, we want a feasible system wherein you build it once, you build your application once and can be deployed anywhere. We need such a tool which makes the underlying hardware irrelevant. That technology, that, what do you call it, like the golden gift is called Docker. Okay, what Docker did is, the few genius engineers, they came up and understood that, okay, let's not host softwares or programs on server directly. Let's do something. Let's add a layer called hypervisor, which will, what it will do, it will virtualize things. Virtualize means, if you have a laptop, let's say, okay, the laptop, how much storage it would have? 1 TB, let's assume, and it has some 16 GB RAM, and let's say like it has 8 core CPU, and your softwares are all running on that. In a server, it would be something much more: 100 GB RAM, something like 50 TB hard disk, and some 30, 32 or 64 core processor would be there. But virtualization helps in splitting the and underlying hardware into the smaller chunks and making our virtual software run on this server as if like a individual system. Earlier, was what used to happen? You used to have a software servers, and whatever the programs you need to run or software you need to run, it used to run on the whole server. Or maybe you might be isolating them using namespaces in Linux console. But that is not a golden bullet. So what evolved was concept of virtual machines. But still, virtual machines are VMs, like VMware based machines or VirtualBox based machines. They were not reliable because once you select and allocate certain amount of resources, that's it. If there is more requirement, dynamic allocation is very difficult. You cannot do it that easily. So you people needed a fast, lean way of allocating resources, scaling them, and doing things in a much easier manner. So there comes a concept called containers. Container is like a mini virtual machine. Virtual machine is itself is like a virtual laptop or virtual desktop. Container is like a simple or micro VM. What it will have, it will only have the code, your code, and certain dependencies packed with it, Okay, your code and certain dependencies. In virtual machine, you need OS and all. In further classes, we will learn at depth about how VM is different from containers, what really is a container, how to build a container, and everything. But this particular thing will rely on the underlying OS itself. Okay. Now, by by relying on the operating system of the server, containers are very lightweight, and they are not dependent on any particular hardware. Okay, in further classes we'll learn about how this is made possible. Okay, now who built this container? Our hero called Docker enables building this container. So Docker is a tool to build containers. To run containers, you need Docker. Basically, Docker falls under a category of tools called container containerization tools. Okay, containerization tools. So there are so many types of containerization tools out there. Basically, all of them comply to a standard called OCI. OCI means like Open Container Interface, something like that. Okay, OCI is a standard, and all of the containerization tools adhere to OCI tools. That means few of the competitors to Docker are Podman and other Rocket. Or there are some competitors as well, but all of them adhere to the standard called OCI. So by that means, using whichever tool you build your container, you can run it as long as in any other software like Docker, as long as they stick to this OCS standard. Now, why should you learn Docker? Why not Podman and all? We will learn in further sessions. Okay. Now, you understood that Docker builds and runs containers. Containers are nothing but micro VMs, and micro VMs are necessary for running our software and migrating, running, and shifting our software seamlessly across multiple devices and multiple platforms. Fantastic. Then you will have another question like, Vijay, if Docker is there, then what is Kubernetes? Now we have this container built by Docker. Let's say one microservice has been built by Docker. In Netflix, let's say there are 100 microservices. One microservice is this. There are so many microservices like this. Okay. Let's say there are 100 microservices, and you want to run all these microservices in your software, in your server, so that all of them together gives impression as a single entity. For example, if you go to Netflix, you don't feel like Netflix is patchwork. No, Netflix works seamlessly, but underlying microservices work amicably. That means like they work so seamlessly that it gives you a single impression that it is a single application. So in order to do that, all of these microservices have to be managed properly. These containers will be sometimes crashing because of some issue, resource issue, sometimes it's code issue, sometimes it's dependency issue. Whatever the issue is, sometimes these microservices fail. You need to, if you want to make your application always up and running, you need to spin up a backup for this container. If the application A fails, if the container A fails, you need to spin up another container for that. But when there are 100 microservices, and at least when you run 2 3 copies of each of the microservice, it is humanly impossible to manage the life cycle of all these containers. Understand? Let's say you have let's imagine you are a teacher and you have 20 students. It is okay to manage 20 students, but what if the class has 200 students? Can a single teacher manage that? No, right? You need multiple supervisors for that. Similarly, if there are 2000, no, then you need to manage in a much seamless manner. You need much more resources to manage them. Similarly, you need a special tool to manage these containers life cycle, or in a technical jargon, you need to orchestrate the way these containers are working. So in order to orchestrate or manage the life cycle, you need a complex but simple to use tool That is our Kubernetes. Understood? Kubernetes is not a replacement for Docker, and Docker is not Kubernetes alternative. Docker and Kubernetes go hand in hand. They go together. Without a container runtime environment like Docker, Kubernetes is useless. Even if you have Docker containers in production, you cannot possibly humanly manage all those containers. So you need Kubernetes. Understand? So Docker and Kubernetes makes our software deploy into our production environments or the end users in a faster way, in a secure way, in a time bound manner. That is the advantage. So well, good and file. The story goes fine, Vijay. But why do I need to? You might be a software tester. You might be a Java full stack developer. You might be a, early DevOps engineer. Or you might be a fresher. Why do you need to learn this Docker and Kubernetes? Does it help you? Yes. In industry, nowadays, if you go to Java architect or a testing engineer, Docker and Kubernetes are absolutely necessary. If you want, I can show you. For example, okay, this is just now I have opened before the session for a Java architect related opening. Okay, if you see this Java architect opening, if you find check for Kubernetes, you see Kubernetes here. Even a developer needs the knowledge of Docker and Kubernetes. Even a testing engineer needs the knowledge of Docker and Kubernetes. Whichever field you are, you know, now automation is a must. And without Docker and Kubernetes, automation is not complete. So you need to learn based on the industry demand. And also, why only Docker? Why only Kubernetes? Because job market is tuned towards industry leaders. Okay, there are more open source alternatives, but they are not that secure, that industry relevant as these tools. Okay. And also, if you are an experienced engineer like 10 plus like me or 15 plus like me, you need to skill up and stand out. If you are, you need to lead a team or you want to design a solution for your client. Without learning these tools, you cannot properly suggest them, or you cannot guide them, right? So in order to future proof your career, you need to learn Docker and Kubernetes. And there are many ways to learn Docker and Kubernetes, guys. Let me be very frank. You can just go to YouTube and see all those recording courses. Why should you learn from Vijay? Okay. Why should you learn from me? So basically, the thing is that Docker and Kubernetes is more about hands-on than just learning. It's not a book-based tool. It's not a textbook course. It's a tool where you do hands-on. And I'm going to help you providing each day a lab activity and teach you what we are going to achieve. A particular section we will take up. We will complete that. I will be giving you the knowledge, the PPT, and also a lab document where you will be doing it hands-on. Unless you do hands-on, okay, you cannot learn these tools. You need to invest time, follow the lab documents I'm going to share with you, and you need to practice them diligently. But in video courses, you will get in that. No, in the recorded courses, can you ask a doubt? For example, Docker and Kubernetes are rapidly evolving tools. Okay, can you ask a YouTube guy that like I want this is the doubt? Can you clear? No, they won't. Why? Because they just record it and leave it out there. They won't bother about upgrading. But here, I'll be teaching you whatever the upgrades. For example, in the latest 1.33, there are new technologies which are evolving. I'll be teaching you what is the new things in Docker, what is the new things in Kubernetes. Okay, so and whenever you have any doubts, I'll be sharing my personal mail ID with you. You will be not in during the course. You will be always be allowed to ask your questions, and even after the course, I'll be sharing with you my mail ID. You can drop your questions, and I'll be taking time out in a week to address your queries after the post course support also. Okay, so that is my things. So what sets this course apart is real time guidance, and also at the end of the course we will be having a real world project wherein you will be showing how in real world the entire things comes together. Okay, starting from picking up code from source code repository and from deploying an application into the Kubernetes cluster, and also getting logs and analytics and monitoring that. The entire thing will be shown to you. Okay, and the curriculum will be updated one. And if you want to see what are the uh, uh, what would be teaching to you, I'll be showing you the Docker and Kubernetes course related content. Just a bit. I will show you that as well. Second. Okay. So this is our course. We will be starting with Docker introduction, and we will go into Docker deep dive, and we will learn about how to build images, ship images, and also troubleshoot if any issues with images as well. Then we'll learn about Docker volumes, Docker networking, and saving the Docker images into a registry, and certain advanced concepts like multi-state Docker builds and how to optimize our Docker images. This is the first phase one of our course. Okay, this will take 2 to 3 weeks. And then it comes to introduction to Kubernetes, 1.5 to 2 weeks. And then in Kubernetes part, once we learn the basics of Docker, we will go to Kubernetes. And in Kubernetes, we will understand introduction to Kubernetes. We will learn about what does Kubernetes tool comprises and what are the different you know aspects of Kubernetes, how to work with Kubernetes in multiple ways. We can work with Kubernetes while testing. We will use certain tools while working with a small startup. We can use certain tools. And if you are in a banking sector, or if you're in a special sector where they are absolutely privacy and secrecy is important, they use something called bare metal clusters. How to set up a Kubernetes cluster on a bare metal setup, you will learn. And then finally, the most popular way, the managed Kubernetes, cloud-based Kubernetes like EKS, AKS, and GKE. We will learn all those things, how to set up one. And then we will go at length about working with Kubernetes clusters, and we will select one Kubernetes clusters. The majority of the course will be based on AWS. And so having said that, I have experience with GKE and AKS as well. So extensively, I can be covering the examples from others as well. So setting up of cluster in all the cloud environments, the major three, I'll be sharing with you. And whenever you have any doubt, I'll be clearing them for other things. But most of the demonstrations will follow on AWS EKS in clusters. Okay. So we will learn about all the three platforms first, and then we will dive deep into learning about what are Kubernetes workloads, what are the resources, what type of services, what type of load balance we can do using Kubernetes, what kind of storage we'll use, how to set up a storage, how to troubleshoot, what are volumes, what are dynamic volume provision, what are storage classes, and much more. What are PVs, PVCs, and all we will learn. And then we will also learn about configuring Kubernetes workloads like config map, secrets, how to link the third party secret manager like AWS secret manager with our cluster, and how to fetch the secrets and all. Okay, we will learn much more deep into these things than it is written here. Then we will learn about scheduling, advanced scheduling concept like how to reserve certain types of nodes for certain applications, how to make sure that certain nodes will be only dedicated for a particular application. Like scheduling, we will learn, and different technologies like affinity, anti-affinity, and many other things we will learn. And most importantly, we'll go through security as well, how we can use identity and access management using Kubernetes roles and Kubernetes role bindings. We will learn about something called RBAC, role-based access control, which helps in managing access to Kubernetes and its resources. Then networking, we will move networking a bit up. We'll cover them a bit at later stage itself. And then we'll cover about what kind of networking philosophy we use, what is KubeNet, what is CNI, and when to use which. We will learn about that. And then we will learn about ingress controller, the heart of Kubernetes, how Kubernetes requests are actually routed to the right resource or right pod. We will learn. And then backing up and restore, because everything is transient. At any point of something might crash. Okay, we need to always be ready with our backup, and we need to restore. How to take backup and restore of our Kubernetes cluster, we'll learn. And then most importantly, implementing is not enough these days. You need to completely monitor it end to end. You need to troubleshoot it at any point of time. Without monitoring, without getting your logs, you cannot troubleshoot. So we'll learn about monitoring and troubleshooting to certain extent during the course and during the lab project demonstration, we will have a special troubleshooting session where I will be explaining you all those concepts. So at the end of the course, we will have a real world project demo where we will be explaining, we'll be we will be delving deep into how end-to-end deployment of a containerized application can be done using EKS. Okay, this is what we are going to cover. Let me grab some water. If you have any doubts, please put it in the thing and let me cover some doubts from the chat. Okay. Thank you, Sudhakar, Anil, and Tausif. They have conveyed that they are new to this, and I'll make sure that this course is a blend of a mixture of pressure friendly way and also experienced and add value to experienced professionals as well. It would be a blend of both. For example, if you take a class or if you take a particular module, we will be first starting from scratch and then we will be going to advanced concepts. And we will be giving you recordings so that if freshers feel that certain topics are going above their head, you can rewatch the recordings and you can learn them as well. Okay. And yeah, Patri is writing automation and seamless bug-free deployment. Yes, you will be learning how to do that, Patri. Yes, Anil, you will be getting a recorded session. How to set up the lab to practice. Rishabh, we will be teaching you step by step uh, in the coming days how to set up your lab, how to set up your Docker environment, how to set up your Kubernetes environment. Everything, including the documentation, will be providing you so that you need not worry about anything. And if you feel that something is amiss, you can always raise query or ask me. I'll be providing you in my scope if it allows. Okay. For example, if you ask me to teach coding or if you ask me to teach Java, I cannot do that as per this course. But if you ask anything related to Docker, Kubernetes, and anything ancillary to that, I'll be teaching that. Okay. How many sessions per Docker and Kubernetes? 30 sessions, give or take plus or minus 2 to 3. Okay. So that's the thing. 30 sessions is mandatory because I want to cover in depth about Docker and Kubernetes. Okay. I don't want to go through like bullet train and not cover. I want to address freshers out there. I want to teach them. I want to teach you guys absolute scratch, and also I want to cover advanced aspects as well. So it would take certain quality amount of time. That's why. Out of 30 for Dockers, initial 10 to 12 sessions to 14 sessions per Docker. Yeah. Mostly it will take 12 sessions and Kubernetes rest of the things. And 2 sessions dedicated for project work and demo project and capstone, we call it capstone project and troubleshooting session. That is not included in the 30. That will be additional. 2 sessions will be taken. It will be like mostly on the weekends. Monday to Friday is the class. Yes, Abhishek, only Monday to Friday classes will be there. Exceptionally, if there is any requirement, if there are few holidays in middle and we were technical issues or any issues we are unable to take, I'll inform you much earlier. But we will be taking regularly Monday to Friday. Vishal is saying, sir, will you also cover version control like it? I will just give you intro to them, Kishal, because it is not purely Git course, but whatever the necessary knowledge you need to work with Git and use Git Docker, that I will teach you. That document I will provide. Any more doubts, guys? Okay. Any more doubts, please put it in the chat. Machindra is asking, if you don't mind, can you please share the LinkedIn profile to check your skills and experiences? Definitely at the end of the course, I can share with you. Okay. But as per the Logic Lab Technologies thing, I am a working professional and I have certain limitations as to share what I am and what my experience is and all. You can go and search LinkedIn about my experience and credentials and whatnot. But as long as the course is going on, I cannot share you, Machindra. And once at the end of the course, I'll share my personal mail ID and LinkedIn profile with you. You can go and explore, and you can send me a friend request. And one more thing, guys, many times, in my organization, in my friends' organizations, recruitments come up. Okay, so keep in touch with me. Send me your resumes at the end of the course. I'll be, referring you guys to those careers, to those job openings if possible. And Any more doubts, let me know. And with this is good, right? You are going to get the best in industry knowledge about Kubernetes. But what else I can provide? What is in my hand to make your knowledge to make your Docker and Kubernetes journey much more useful? For example, this course is about Docker and Kubernetes, okay? But a good DevOps engineer, a good and experienced DevOps engineer, not only needs to know Docker and Kubernetes, but they also need to know how to work and troubleshoot systems. For that, logging and monitoring is more important. So, as a part of this course, my previous course will be given free of cost to you. That will teach you Prometheus and Grafana to you. Okay, these two tools, Prometheus and Grafana, will alone cost you almost 10K. Okay, these are very important tools that I'm going to give you free of cost because I want you to be not just an average DevOps engineer. You must be a competent, experienced DevOps engineer. Okay, and I'll be sharing you ready to edit templates based on your experience level. For example, you're a fresher, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, or 10 plus. These templates I will be providing to you with necessary content. You modify them and use them, and use in the sense you don't copy paste it. You need to modify it according to your experience levels and your certifications and other things. And coming to certification, my course will suit CKA certification course, and also I'll be giving you certification dumps. Okay, and also if somebody want to crack certain certifications like Google Certified Cloud Architect, like me. Okay, I'm going to share certain resources I have that help me to crack the certification. I'm also a Azure certified administrator, and I'm also going through the solutions architect certification for both AWS and Azure as well. So I can share those resources which are with me. Okay, so those resources which are with me, I'm going to share with you, like the certification dumps and real-time project. Many of the candidates at interviews they fail. What is the reason? They don't know how the end-to-end flow works. If somebody knows certain aspects, they can answer a particular question. But today's interview, I have been part of hundreds of interview panels, selecting cloud architects, selecting cloud engineers, selecting DevOps engineers, platform engineers, SREs, whatnot, from freshers to experienced engineers. I have interviewed many people, but you know what is the core skill they lack? They don't have visibility into the whole system. They don't know which entity links to other thing, how CI/CD platforms integrate with Docker, how Docker is integrated with Kubernetes, how these logging and monitoring tools and everything, all these microservices, how they give single impression as a single entity. They don't know. Why? Because they just go through some random videos and they think that they know Docker. No, you need to have a realistic, wholesome understanding. For that, I'm going to give you a real-time project live. I will demonstrate in front of you, and I will give you a recording, step-by-step document so that you can practice it, and you can simply tweak some things and post it in your own GitHub portal for your interviewer to showcase. Okay, for you to showcase before your interviewers. And then I'll be teaching you wherever necessary certain interview tips and techniques like jargon, certain issues, certain mistakes people commonly do. For example, Docker networking, Kubernetes networking. Certain aspects are interviewer friendly. There are some go-to topics people will ask in interviews. Okay, such kind of things. Whenever I come across, I'll teaching you such tips and techniques. This are all is a package. So I just don't teach you Docker and Kubernetes. I make you a experienced Docker and Kubernetes engineer. Okay, and there will be 3 demos, guys. The first class, including this, 2 more will be demos, and I want you to log in, join this WhatsApp chat group for all course related content and course related broadcasting will happen in this WhatsApp group. So everything will be like, for example, what is the agenda of tomorrow's session going to be? That will be intimated to you through this WhatsApp platform. Okay, any course related information going forward throughout the course, throughout our journey, you will be getting from this particular WhatsApp link. Okay, so first thing, you need to click and join this WhatsApp group for further information. Now, if you like the way I'm teaching, if you want to get the full benefit of the course, please join this particular course using this link. I'm going to paste you the payment link for this course. Go ahead and join this course to get all the recordings and the material, PPTs, labs, and everything. If you want to get the full benefit of the course, you can log in and you can use this payment link and pay for the course. Okay. So let's recap what we have learned today. So we understood that in industry, Docker is necessary for everyone. Okay, because the industry is moving towards and is already in towards AI and AI related automation. And Docker and Kubernetes are core pillars of automation. And if you want to stand out in your career, skill up fast, then you must learn Docker and Kubernetes. And instead of going through some random videos, we are here to guide you in real time and suggest you take you forward in your career. I'm going to give my best, and also by experience, the lessons I learned from my experience, I'm going to share with you, which no one will cover. Okay, the real world, how in a real project, how things work, nobody's gonna teach it like the way I'm going to teach it. Okay, so there are more things like Podman. I will give you introduction to Podman. That's one of the tool which you will use where Docker uh, cannot be used. In some areas, Docker people don't comfortable to use Docker because of licensing restrictions. There you can use Podman. I'll be teaching that, and certain advanced things I'll be teaching to you. So the problems and these things I'll cover tomorrow. So as part of this course, I'm going to teach you. These are the bonuses I'm going to share with you. These bonuses alone will cost you around 20,000 rupees. Okay, all of them I'm going to give you free of cost because I want to make you a very good Docker and Kubernetes engineer, not just an average person. Okay, so if you want to travel the journey with me, so please go ahead and join the WhatsApp group and do the payment, guys. Okay, I have shared with you the payment link and all. And if you have any doubts, the floor is open. You can put it your queries. Harsha asks, is this course content is enough for Kubernetes certification? Yes, I'm going to share with you along with this course a dump. Okay, dump is essentially the mostly asked questions and answers. So go through the dump, make your practice it few times for timing and all, and this course knowledge that will be sufficient. Tausif says means with this course we will get access to Prometheus and Grafana recording. Yes, Tausif, you are absolutely right. My Prometheus and Grafana course will be free of cost to you. Yes, you will be getting recordings. Damini asks, can we get interview questions after this class? Interview questions framed into a single document, if you want, I can provide at the end of the course. But what I can guarantee is on a day-to-day basis, you will be getting interview tips on a particular everyday session, whatever topic we are dealing with. But at the end of the course, if you want a compiled version, I can definitely share with you. Not an issue at all. You will get it, Damini. Let me grab some water. If you have any queries, guys, you can raise your hand or you can put it in the chat. Okay, fantastic people. That's all for today. And most importantly, don't forget to register for the WhatsApp community where you will get each and every information through WhatsApp only. Okay. And the payment link I have shared with you, I can share with you again. This payment link is valid for the next 3 days and more. The first 3 days is going to be a demo. That means today, tomorrow, and after tomorrow. But if you want recordings, content, and everything for the first 3 days, you need to pay. Otherwise, from third day onwards, you won't be getting the registration link also. Okay, guys. Thank you so much. Have a nice, wonderful week ahead, and see you tomorrow morning, same time, 7:30 a.m. Indian Standard Time again. Thank you so much, guys. See you tomorrow. Thank you. Love you, guys. Bye bye.